Here on the Sports Objective, our Pirate Preview, and with us right now, Phillip Wood, the Senior Associate Athletic Director and Executive Director of the Pirate Club. And Phillip, it's a huge honor to be in your office. I'm very excited about Pirate football, and I look out at your office and the Southside Project where we'll get into, but what a great time to be a Pirate.
Well, first and foremost, Dave, thank you for the opportunity. I'm humbled to be on your podcast, and certainly have been an admirer for some time, and it's always great to get out and talk ECU athletics. It is an exciting time of the year with Saturday's kickoff finally here. It's something that we're gearing up for. As a fan, certainly I'm super excited about it coming up Saturday. From a fundraising operational side of the house, I wish we had about 2 more weeks. It always seems like we get people calling, needing extra tickets, which is a good problem, or various issues. But certainly Saturday at 6 o'clock is an exciting time.
It is. I've been waiting for the football season. It seems like it's taken for months now, but certainly a good time to be a Pirate. I guess for people that don't know, can you tell folks out of the gate before we get in your background and about the Pirate Club? What is the Pirate Club?
So, Dave, the Pirate Club, we're the fundraising arm for ECU athletics. Our primary purpose, and when we were founded in 1962, was to raise money for scholarships for student athletes, as well as raise necessary funds for facilities so that our coaches and student athletes have what they have to compete on the highest level. So, essentially, in a nutshell, we're the fundraising arm that helps raise money for those 2 items on an annual basis.
Very excited about that because I know that one of the things I want to talk to before I forget too is right now part of the athletic budget is going to scholarships, and I know that for the guys that are working here and the ladies working here as well at the Pirate Club, that's something you guys are stressing really right now is to let's erase that deficit or let's erase that particular part of the budget for athletics so we can spend that for something else, right?
Yeah, you're correct, Dave. And one of the things that we're blessed with here at the Pirate Club is a tremendous foundation. The history, just looking back at all the people that have sat in the chair that I sit in, I'm very humbled every single day that I come into the office just thinking about some of these individuals that have had the opportunity that I currently have. But right now, as you mentioned, we're not able through private support to fund our entire scholarship bill, even though each one of our coaches is able to go out and give the maximum number of scholarships that the NCAA allows to their sports. However, we're falling a little short in terms of the money that we're raising on an annual basis to cover 100% of our scholarship bill. This past year, athletics had to pay about $2.4 million from their annual operating budget for scholarships. So early on when I came in, just trying to, familiarize myself, try to get a lay of the land, one of the things that I wanted to try to make a priority first run is to bridge that gap, because what that does, Dave, for our athletic department, if we are able to raise enough money on an annual basis to fund all of these scholarships, that's $2.4 million that athletics can go and redirect to some of our other sports. So that's certainly something that we as a staff talk about all the time. It's something that I wish I could wave a magic wand and we'd close that gap tomorrow. It doesn't always happen that way, but that's where we were excited in January to come out with a 5-year action plan of all hands on deck, one Pirate at a time. And right now, we really just wanted to touch on what those words mean. There's some other things that will be rolling out to fit in under that. But essentially what we wanted to do is just recreate this brand, something that we've had tremendous pride in over the years, is just being a grassroots organization where we just want as many people as we can to participate at whatever level. We just need people to participate, and taking that participation level up to where we want to see it to get to is going to help us accomplish those goals.
I know, Phillip, you were on Pirate Radio, and I think it was July the 14th when you were actually hired, and August 7th was your first day. And I know you told Troy, and that was one thing that I said, I like this guy automatically, was the fact I've been preaching many times to folks, the biggest growth we have for the Pirate Club at East Carolina University is the $100 range to $1,000 range. There's plenty of folks that are like myself, working middle-class folks that can afford that. I always say if you have a Netflix subscription, which is $9.99, $14.99 a month, you can be a Pirate Club member, right?
No, you're exactly right, and thanks for doing your homework. Yeah, I tell people all the time, July 14th is always going to be a date very special to me because that's the date that I became a pirate, and it's something that every single day I give thanks, and certainly very fortunate for this opportunity. But I was fortunate enough to spend 15 years to work for a guy, Bobby Purcell, over at NC State. Don't hold that against me. But Bobby was not only a tremendous friend, but a tremendous mentor of mine. And one of the things, Dave, that he always preached to our staff was, don't look at someone just as $100 donor. Once you start looking at, what someone gives, but then you add to it that person's also buying 4 football season tickets, and they're fueling up their car to come to Greenville every Saturday, and they're buying apparel, and they're doing all these things. Once you add it all up, it's not just a $100 donation. I mean, they're a huge part of what you're doing. The thing that we need to do, and as I mentioned earlier, is just stress the importance of participation at whatever level. As you mentioned, $100 makes you a full-fledged active Pirate Club member. And to me, we're fortunate to be at an institution with just great, passionate fans. And I tell people all the time, there's no better example when you're looking at the DNA of East Carolina to look at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium on a Saturday afternoon. When you see 50,000 Pirates all clad in purple and gold, that's our DNA. That's who we are. There's other schools in this state, other schools in the conference and across the country would kill to have that kind of support. The more I've learned about this unbelievable university, I was only an hour and a half down the road for the past 15 years, and obviously always admired this university, but the more I learn about truly what the mission is of East Carolina University, it's something that just blows me away. I mean, the footprint and what we do serving Eastern North Carolina is something very important. We have 180,000 living alumni right now. And the nice thing about that is, Dave, so many of those folks, once they graduate from this great university, they go back into their counties and their towns and their cities. And so they're still here in Eastern North Carolina. So if I could give, one message, look, if you bleed purple and gold, if you care about ECU athletics, we just want you to be a part of the Pirate Club. Getting you to join is one part, but it's up to us as a staff to make you feel good about supporting what you do. I mean, it's an annual contribution. So every year people are evaluating what am I giving money to, whether it's my church or this civic organization, various things. So we always want to make sure that we're the gold standard, that we make people feel good about participating. And the first way of doing that is say thank you. We can't ever say thank you enough to our Pirate Club members. We have a great foundation and something that we'll continue to be able to build on.
And I want to give a shout out to Kyle Verber and also Alston Collard, who, when you're talking about, I'm not a $1 million donor, but I'm trying to do my part and then some, and they have been excellent to me. So I want to give them a shout out.
Well, 2 great guys. One of the things I'm very fortunate, not only to be a part of such a great institution and a part of a athletics department with a rich history, but also work with a great staff. I think we have a great team here. Certainly we're not always perfect. We always can get better, but we have a group of young men and women that come into work every day proud to represent East Carolina athletics.
One of the things, speaking of proud, I just alluded to at the very beginning of the interview, is outside your office right here, I'm looking at the Southside Project, something I'm very proud of, and I know that it's definitely been many years in the making. I graduated in 1995 at East Carolina, and I was working for Henry Hinton at the radio station. We were the flagship at the time, and I remember doing a post-game show, and somebody said, this press box was built in 1978, and this is like 1997 or 98 at the time, and I'm going, oh my God, it's 20 years old, and here we are 20 years after that. It's long overdue.
Well, it's something that obviously we're very excited about. It's something that I feel like, once it's completed next year, when you look at our total athletic campus, and I'm not just referring to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, Bagwell Field, but I'm saying everything from Minges Coliseum to Johnson Stadium, Clark LeClaire. You look at our athletic campus, I think you're going to find it hard-pressed to find any campus better than what we have. And that's a part of the Pirate Club. As I mentioned earlier, we're out trying to raise money for scholarships, but we also have to provide the necessary resources for facilities. And, I'm fortunate enough to go around to different stadiums across the country, seeing what's new and who's got what. And without a doubt, when this is complete, we will have hands down the finest football campus, football stadium, football facility of anyone in the country. As you mentioned, I am fortunate to have a great bird's eye view of the construction. Good news, bad news is, good news is I'm able to see progress. Bad news is it's a $60 million project, which we're still out there actively soliciting gifts for. So it's a constant reminder that I always have something I need to be doing.
I wanted to ask you about that as far as the suites and different things. There are people listening right now. Are there opportunities that they can call the Pirate Club? I know there are people out there that maybe they want the premium parking, or I don't know if that's still available, or if they want the suites. Can you talk about the different things, the amenities that we're going to have with the Southside project?
Sure. Well, the first thing, Dave, is when this project first was rolled out to Pirate Nation, the initial level of interest was unbelievable. And I obviously wasn't here at that time, and I give credit to athletic administration, certainly the Pirate Club staff for doing a great job of getting that information out there to donors. But I also tip my hat to Pirate Nation for stepping up and wanting to be a part of a lot of different opportunities that this facility is going to have available. As you mentioned, this facility will have suites. We actually have two different levels of suites. We have a founder's suite, which we have 5 of. Only 2 are still remaining. We're sold out of all of our suites and also sold out of all of our loge boxes. We still have little more than half of our scholarship club level seats that we still have to go out there and sell. And that's something that as people are coming into Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium 7 times this year, hopefully they're going to be able to see this thing actually taking place. I'm sure this has been something that's been talked about for quite some time. You referenced just the age of the old press box. As you can see, I mean, this thing's happening, and it's something that is taking a total team effort to make it reality, especially from the planning side. It's been the university, it's been athletics, and the Pirate Club really just working all together as one to get to a common goal of having this facility complete. But it's also, too, a testament to Pirates stepping up and wanting to participate in it. One of the things that I'm probably the most excited about is, as you all know, we used to have the Pirate Club building, which was there on the southeast corner of the stadium, and anyone that was a Pirate Club member, all they had to do was show his or her membership card to get access into the Pirate Club building. And obviously, as you know, it wasn't the most attractive of facilities, but you know what? It was something that was special to people because they felt a part of something. The thing that I'm probably the most excited about with this stadium is we're going to have a Pirate Club entrance. As you walk into the south side of the stadium through the Taft family plaza, we'll have a Pirate Club level that any donor with the Pirate Club card will be able to enter in through that area. But then from there, there'll be seating areas throughout, televisions, a couple of different beverage stations for your favorite Pirate beverages. Something that, in my opinion, is going to make kind of the 2019 version of the old Pirate Club building. I will say one of the things that I hate, as you can tell, we're in the midst of a lot of construction. We really, as a staff working with athletics, tried to look and see if we could identify another area that we could use this year kind of as a makeshift Pirate Club building. But with us limited in access, especially to the south side of the stadium, unfortunately, we weren't able to accomplish that this year. So I would just ask Pirate Club members just to be patient with us one more year because in 2019, we're going to have something special that all Pirate Club members can take great pride in.
As I told Austin and you before the interview, I call it growing pains. So to me, I'm very happy. I'll tell you what, I'll take construction. In fact, we've got a great construction management program and a lot of great alums that are owners of companies around here doing the work. So I take a lot of pride, but we're giving them some work too.
Well, we are, and as I mentioned, it's a total team effort. Not only is the tower obviously being constructed, but just a month ago we completed the renovations of the first floor of Ward Sports Medicine, which I don't know if you were able to see the video that Athletics sent out. I know we sent it out to all Pirate Club members as well. Just the excitement, not only with our football coaches, but seeing those young men come into their new home. I mean, what a point of pride that is. And certainly, say thank you to Coach Montgomery for recognizing the Pirate Club. It's one of those things. He is not coached to do that. He does it himself. He understands the important role that our donors play. And, what better way of a sense of accomplishment than going down there and seeing those young men just appreciating their new home, and then also the enhanced sports medicine facility that's going to be utilized by all of our student athletes.
I want to ask you, because I don't know off the top of my head, so this is selfishly for me. When is the Southside project going to be done? I know it'll be before the football season, but what do you have a timetable, an estimate of when it's going to be done?
We do. I don't want to give you the exact date because you'll come back and say, Phillip, you were wrong. But no, great question. Obviously, I know it's something that a lot of people have. Spring of next year, it'll be complete, and that'll give us enough time prior to football season to allow donors to go in and pick their different premium seating options as well as premium parking, all the different premium opportunities the facility is going to have.
So it'll be like a movie. We'll just say coming soon. We'll just leave it vague as we can.
I'll tell you, you're not only a talented sports radio guy, but you're also a mind reader. So, yes, coming soon is great.
We'll say in 2019. As far as the future after 2019, I know you said before that definitely I know will keep you up in a lot of sleepless nights, but are there any other things that we can look forward to, or maybe Pirate fans were so excited, a very passionate fan base, and there are a lot of people that wanted me to ask you today about the future after 2019?
Yeah. And Dave, that's a great question. I'll first start off by saying, obviously one of the things that we have to do is tackle this scholarship deficit. That's something that is very important to us, and it's something that I feel very confident with everyone coming together, we're going to be able to accomplish. But, we can't just constantly just sit back and just let others progress. We have to constantly be looking at our current facilities and thinking what is needed. Like I said earlier, and I probably sound like a broken record, giving our coaches and student athletes the necessary resources that they need to be competitive, not only on the field or on the court, but really just in our conference. We're very fortunate to be in a national conference, in the American Athletic Conference. I mean, we're in a conference where teams that we're competing against are competing and winning national championships, and that's what we all want. So I will say that here over the past, 4 or 5 months since Dave Hart has been back, serving in his role as special advisor to the Chancellor for Athletics, we as an executive leadership team of athletics are really just surveying all of our sports and all of our needs, not necessarily wants, but just, needs. And we're trying to prioritize, what needs to happen first, because we still have a lot of work that needs to be done. Obviously, we want to make sure that football, being, the flagship sport here at East Carolina, it's really the money maker for us, that Coach Montgomery and his coaches, have all the necessary resources that they need to be competitive. Obviously, an indoor practice facility is something that's talked about quite often. That's a big number. That's probably a $17 to $20 million number. I can tell you, just being fiscally responsible, making sure that we're raising enough for scholarships, making sure that we're funding the Southside project, we have to close a lot of these things that we're actively out there doing before we can really move forward. But I'd be remiss by not saying that we're not already looking at what are some other things that need to happen. I think you always have to have a plan. We can't just sit back and, 4 years from now, we're like, oh yeah, this sounds like a great idea. We need to constantly be looking at it and then figuring out a way that we're going to go about attacking it. And when I say attacking it, it's going to be funding it. We have a lot of folks in athletics that have a lot of great ideas, and then at the end of the day, all eyes end up coming back to me saying, well, we can have this if you can raise the money. So I take it as a challenge, but it's also a little bit of a stress point. But we're certainly taking a look at all those things.
I know with all that being said, with everything, where Coach Ruff and McNeil used to talk about putting your big boy pants on, and certainly that comes to mind. And when you have to think about the scholarship, one thing I want to ask you about is there's been Pirate Nation a lot of concern about the deficit as far as East Carolina University with the athletic department. Is there any way legally that we can say to Pirate Nation, now you're talking about scholarships, here I am again, you talk about scholarships and that gap you need to do, and obviously we've got to fund the Southside project. Let's say there's a deficit of, I'm just hypothetically putting out there, of $3 million. After we get all that done, can we say, hey guys, kind of like an assessment at any kind of organization, can you give an extra $100 to help erase the debt?
Yeah, there is a way that we could go about doing it. The talking point that we have right now, Dave, is the scholarship part of it. Because, if the Pirate Club, and I take this as a personal challenge, if I'm doing my job, it is, and if I'm doing it at the highest level, that means we're raising 100% of our scholarship bill every year, where athletics isn't having to worry about making up that difference. And, this past year it's $2.4 million. As you know, I don't think there's any plans in the future for tuition to be reduced, unfortunately. It's going to continue to escalate, but we have to do our part. And with that, there are a lot of different moving parts with athletics. Obviously, ticket sales are a big portion of it, and then other outside revenue sources that hopefully will continue to go up as well. But it's certainly something that's in front of us. But from a Pirate Club standpoint, with the deficit that we're in athletically, which is not uncommon really across the board in intercollegiate athletics, what makes it a little bit more challenging in our environment is we live in a state that no state funds can be used to offset athletics. It's a little different in our conference because there's other schools that we're competing against that don't have to operate in that certain environment. So here's the thing. It's not an excuse. It's reality. But, we're not going to use that as a crutch. We're going to continue to talk about what we need to do moving forward. And it gets back to just all of us locking arms and being all together, pulling our weight in whatever capacity it may be.
And I know there's obviously down the line we can talk about, but different revenue streams that we can create, just like the stuff with the Southside Project to help bridge that gap.
There are, and one of the things that is really exciting to me is what I think the future holds for ECU men's basketball. I mean, the addition of Joe Dooley and the staff that he's put together, and what's happened in a short amount of time is something that I'm very excited about. Coach Dooley is one that preaches we need support. We need Minji's to be 6,000, 7,000, to be the loud home court advantage it can be. But he also realizes he's got to put a product on the court as well. So we all play our different roles in all of this. Certainly, the Pirate Club, we're the fundraising role. Coach Dooley, he's got to go out there and win some ball games. And us as fans, we want people to support. But it's just like we referred to giving that donor that's given us $100, we got to make him feel good, make him or her feel good about supporting it. Just like Coach Dooley needs to make sure we're giving them a product that they want to support as well.
I want to ask you before we let you go, certainly about with the Pirate Club, and I know you talked about it, and I want to give folks right now the opportunity to step up, roll up their sleeves, and it's easy to complain and do nothing. It's a lot harder to roll up your sleeves and do hard work, and simply by writing a check, debit card, credit card, whatever. How can people call, or I know they can go online as well?
Certainly, you can call our office anytime, or you can go online, ECUPirateclub.com. It is going to take a team effort. It's going to be, roll up your sleeves. Obviously, us as fans, you really have one or two options, support or not support. And I will say, in difficult times that we're going through, with us not, winning as much as we all hope for and that we've done in the past, knowing that we're going to get there, we just need people to stay with us and be a part of it. It's $100 a year. And the thing that I want the Pirate Club to be known for, not only in Eastern North Carolina, but the state of North Carolina, the country, is grassroots support. I want our strength to be in numbers. I referenced Dowdy Ficklin Stadium being a perfect example of that. It's something that people, are very envious of every single year, seeing the support that we have. I would love to get to the Pirate Club to get to 20,000 members, and that's our goal. 10,000 student Pirate Club members, and then 10,000 donors giving a minimum $100 a year. And, to get to that elite level, I mean, that's something that we all can kind of stick our chest out and say, hey, we had a part of, and we had our hand in getting to that. And as I mentioned, it's $100. And obviously, we're a school that, we can't just rely on a certain select few to write, $100 million checks. That's just not our DNA. Our DNA is just to have that grassroots support and get people to participate whatever level they feel comfortable in. And then from there, the priority points and all that sorts it out. We just want people to be a member of the Pirate Club. And certainly from there, we have to do our job of stewarding donors and delivering the best customer service possible, making them feel good about their donation supporting education for these deserving student athletes.
Well, Phillip Wood, I appreciate you very much. Phillip, it's an honor to be here in your office, and I appreciate it makes me feel good knowing that you're here leading the ship, and we're going to right the ship, so to speak, and certainly on 2019 and beyond, I know it's going to be a great time to be a Pirate.
Well, it is, Dave, and first and foremost, thank you for being a Pirate Club member and your years of support and all that you do. Talking about ECU athletics, it is an exciting time, and there's not one moment that I reflect on that I'm just so thankful and fortunate for this opportunity. I'm so proud to be a Pirate. I'm glad to be a part of this great university. And the thing that's really going to be fun is when we all can look back and see the success that we've had, knowing that we all played a part of it. That's something that excites me. It's a great university with a great story to tell. But most importantly, we got a group of great passionate fan base and a great group of donors that care so much about this university. So it's an honor and privilege to be in the capacity that I'm in, and certainly appreciate all that you do. And if there's anything that I can ever do for any of you, just let me know.
All right, Phillip Wood, he is the Senior Associate Athletics Director and Executive Director of the Pirate Club. Appreciate him being on here on the Sports Objective.